showing that the whole Pacific region has a lot of promise.
That's right. Everyone is improving, and we are starting things off with this double controller setup from Gen G. We know how strong they can be on the defensive side, especially with King on this Viper, but they are showing a little bit of promise the way that they're pushing out of A main right now. If they can find Fox, that'll be a good pickup.
Yeah, this is obviously a very important pistol round here for Talon, especially since they are viewed as basically the weaker team. If they could get a head start, that would be huge, but it does seem like we're going to see Fox just get pinned. King drops him easily. And that means that we're going to see a spill in over here towards A, just from Satellite, as Talon will be able to plant the spike with ease, and it's going to be up to Gen G to try to take a retake.
That's right. Talon has to quickly go in for their post-plant position setup because Gen G has the numbers right now, and Jitboy's getting a quick double is a big value.
Yeah, this is very doable with Jitboys getting that double kill. Lingering over here just outside A long. It looks like they want to try to pounce in. They're going to smoke out the northern part of the A site. We've got Pat here ready with the stun. Garnett's going to push in. Pat does drop. TS and Goddead's out of the picture, leaving only King left with half HP. And there you have it. Big win right now. Talon takes it to start here, and that will be giving them a much easier round 2 going forward. It did seem like at the start Gen G had a good opening getting that pinch onto Fox, but then they lost control of A, and the retake was just a little bit too slow, a little bit too sloppy.
That's right. I mean, when it comes down to this, it's timing from Jitboys. This guy was the MVP of the round, I think, because he got those 2 frags. He held Gen G at bay, allowed for Cruz as well as his teammate to get into position where they set up for those post plants. Of course, Cruz with the perfect timing on the molly just kind of pushed Gen G off for a second.
We do have King and TS here going with the Sheriff, hoping to maybe get a pick at the distance and try to curb progress. This has been actually quite a heavy buy round here for Talon, so they're hoping to kind of swing this up and build momentum going into round 3.
You know, they got so many guns, big weapons. They don't want to lose those too early, so a bit of a default, but Gen G have the discipline as well. So it's actually kind of up to Talon to poke and push towards a single site.
Yeah, they're going to have to find an opening first. TS is still waiting. He can take a shot and maybe even, well, hold on. He's going to be driven right back out. Echo going to fire a few more shots in there. They have not managed to make any progress, though, and it looks like they may, in fact, seesaw back out and head over towards the B side.
Yeah, it's been completely smoked off thanks to TS's dark cover. So Talon, they're kind of getting funneled over to the other sides. They're playing into Gen G's game, but they do have the better firepower. So if they can find the right entry, this site should be theirs.
Right, they're going to come forward here. The Viper wall is going to go back up. Paint shells are going to come out. It's a very retracted position here. Goddead up in 2, but shot down immediately by Garnett. Means the rest of the team is going to have to scramble to get around here. It should be an easy site plant here.
Still, Jitboys coming from behind.
Jitboys with a great lurk there. Turns out to be a bit of a trade-off. Once again, the same story. King all alone, but this might be the time he can take it, and he does. A big recovery there from Gen G. This is going to be tied up 1-1, and let's not forget, that was an extremely expensive round there for Talon.
That's right, they bought up 2 rifles, Tasteless. I don't know how they kind of lost that.
That's wild. And the truth is that, you know, it would have been better had Gen G kept more of their players alive to farm out more guns. But regardless, that's a big pivot here in how this whole back and forth is looking.
2 things, I think, really. It's lucky and also just Meteor as well as King and their positioning. Meteor, first of all, threw that paint shells at the best time to kind of throw Talon off. Their positions were all dispersed. And then King up by tower was kind of left unchecked, getting those Sheriff shots as we know him to do. It's incredibly strong, and it gives Gen G quite a bit of momentum.
Okay, we go now into round 3. Obviously, a pretty scuffed round here for Talon with just pistols. Ghost is as good as you're going to get right now. Fox, though, in what has already been such a back and forth. I know we're only 3 rounds in. It's been really exciting. It looks like they may be selling A site pretty well, but regardless, they're going to seesaw back over there. So we may have another engagement kind of reset this whole thing here in A long.
We're just looking for guns, Tasteless. There's one really pretty one on the ground. It's the Radiant Entertainment System, but no.
And Gen G looking too good, and in a flurry of bullets, they close that out with the second win here in round 3.
That's right.
Obviously an expected loss there for Talon, especially when they bought hard in round 2.
We're playing Time Crisis.
That's right. They're just firing their guns off the arcade screen and reload.
In all seriousness, it was kind of impressive that Fox got the double dink with a classic out of the smoke too. But after that, maybe call it a little bit of greed. Greed is good. You're going for that Phantom, and of course Gen.G's players are on the other side of that, and everyone from Talon just rushed into it. So on to round 4.
Yeah, into what may be the first, at least even-wise weaponry round we're going to have here. We have Meteor out on the hunt. He looks for a target and doesn't find it, basically burning through that ulti and really getting no benefits. B is looking to be left wide open.
That's right. Well, we do have players such as King and God Dead just holding up from bench area, so it's still useful. They already know that Talon aren't on the other side of the map, on the bridge side of the map, so just kind of waiting for Talon to make a move. They know that there's been a bit of noise towards the tunnel.
They farm out the orb over there. Viper Wall will come back up. But honestly, I mean, it's a very pregnable position here over on the B side. They're going to send some flashes, send some noise down into A to generate a distraction. But it looks like Garnets is going to be the first one to get onto site. Jit Boy's in here as well, as this is all going to come down to a retake here from Gen.G.
I think that's what Gen.G are setting up for, but what's important is Jit Boy's position, because he's in a great spot to kind of throw Gen.G off.
All right, we've got the Cypher ulti out here as well. Crew's ready with a molly. Gen.G going to start to push in right now. This is going to be a very tough retake here. I think the positioning from Talon is very nice.
Oh boy.
King trades out there as Jit Boys takes him out. Oh, and this is going to be it, I think. Just TS alone here. There's just no way I think it's even possible to get this defused. The molly's already on. Just not giving him a lot of time. And the spread is basically perfect here, so this is likely going to be a 2-2 closeout.
Yeah, just to take as much time as possible, force TS into an uncomfortable spot, and then to get the final nail in the coffin. Talon 2-2. I mean, this is kind of classic Valorant that we have, and also Talon just trying to read the situation, right? We already heard the showstopper on the other side of the map. We saw where they were just peeking outside of tunnel. So a slow and steady approach, because Gen.G gave them a lot of space to sneak up onto the site. And at the same time, Jit Boys with the great positioning to kind of wrap around the back, lurk behind corners, to find a couple of players from Gen.G.
This has been so close so far. We'd love to see it. Talon is able to hold their own so far here against Gen.G. This time around, again, more pressure building up over towards the B. The paranoia comes out blinding and ultimately sandbagging the progress. Made over there, but a push out here, and Fox traded out, does get a kill there, but Meteor returns the favor.
Oh. I mean, Gen.G starting to get a little bit aggressive. Jit Boy's just kind of tampering with that.
Jit Boy's just going to wrap around the Viper Wall here now. The spike is quietly going to get shuttled up through the top of the very top of the map here. Jit Boy's is on fire, by the way. He just keeps getting pick after pick after pick. King is now gone. They were looking to be jumping on to A, but they're actually going to come back towards B. This may be an opportunity here if the gunplay is going to be good enough for Gen.G.
Oh, it is.
One enemy remaining.
Bit of a misread from Talon.
Yeah, that's too bad. Yeah, it's funny. You see, we already we had them ready to go into A and then had to pull around.
30 seconds left.
And now it's all up to Cruz. 1 on 3. I mean, he has to find those heads, because if not, that spike is as good as gone. You've got 20 seconds left, and an incendiary grenade to play with. The best he could do is to just flush some of them out of position, but I think he's got a save here, dude.
Oh, I mean, I think there's no hope right now.
10 seconds
Better to have a Vandal in the next phase here. 5 seconds left. This is going to be a quiet ending here. It will be the third round win here for Gen.G. In a round I honestly think Talon could have done a little bit better. You were mentioning earlier, Quack, it seemed like it was a bit of a bad read to pull away from A.
Yeah, because they had the numbers advantage. It would have been better for them to just, you know, maybe go in with confidence to overwhelm the forces of Gen.G, or to go to the vacant site. But instead, they kind of faced Gen.G head on, not knowing that they were there. So Gen.G actually got the drop on them and took out 2 players. which really caused Talon's chances of winning that round to dwindle.
And now we
Not
go
great.
into a weird round here for Talon. You know, they can't really afford anything, but they do have Cruz right now with a Vandal. They might try to look for a pick and then start to farm out guns. But you got to know that Genji's going to be ready for that.
Yeah, and Gen G are starting to push out more and more on the defensive side. If they can actually find a couple of players from Talon, this round's as good as gone.
Cruz does get that first pick onto TS. Can they get over there and get the gun? It's dropped right down. God Dead with a pop flash comes out, doesn't find the target. Gonna wrap around to the other side of the tunnel here.
Okay.
Well, they're starting to do it. Garnets gets another.
Just trying to find a little bit. Oh boy.
Spike down
God
B.
Dead's so good right now. He's gonna be hit from both sides. He gets one. And he might be able to just carry this whole round. This is insane.
Just biding for time right now because that's all they need to do. They know that Talon doesn't have guns. If anything, the spike is down and Talon has to push them. So Goddead's just waiting.
Did hear the zip line there.
We're fishing. We're reeling some fishing.
Oh, Cruz is so low. God Dead at 12 HP.
Oh my god.
Oh, beautiful spray. That's going to be it.
Close.
Very close round back there, an exciting one to see. But you can see Talon almost had it.
Yes.
They were almost coming out. They got into the B site. They managed to get the second gun. They were starting to make it work. I think a lot of that was up to the patience of God Dead inside of the tube and basically just not letting them get the position they needed.
That's right. I gotta say, I'm loving this look from Talon where if they sense that Gen G's pushing out from A main, B side is probably less reinforced, so we could just rush it in. And sometimes that works. They managed to find a couple players from Gen G. What really happened, though, was that I think Gen G used that Rolling Thunder from Eco to really push them off the spike plant, and that's how they managed to stop the spike from going down. But now Talon trying to aggress. They have the guns. Goddead has the information, so rotations from Gen G should be coming up pretty soon.
TS waiting patiently. Spots that little yellow cap and shoots it right off.
Great
Garnets is
information.
gone. So they've already dropped one. They haven't really made any progress on a B just yet. The setup here on B, by the way, looking pretty good. Is Talon going to go for it?
That's right. I mean, now TS is repositioned as well. We've got Goddead still up in tower. He might have a shorty to play with as well, so it's going to be really difficult for Talon to challenge this. If anything, this Rolling Thunder will push them off, give them a little bit of space, a little bit of an initiative. If they can find them while they are stunned, that would be great.
Cruz gets one.
There it is.
Fox gets another. Gen G needs to fight back for this one. They could lose control of the momentum they had already built up. Oh, Cruz, just insane.
Last player standing.
Already knows where they're going to show up from, so he's just playing with that angle. Now TS, the only one stuck. They know where he is as well.
Okay, that's going to be a Jip Boys gets that kill. It's neck and neck right now. Beautiful round here from Talon. I got to say, I think this could be a very long and dramatic best of three that we've got. This is looking like an even match. You know, some teams it takes a little bit longer than others to really acclimate to the stage and to playing in a new country and to just getting used to the kind of pressure you're under. And it seems like Talon is one of those because they're hanging with the very best we have out here in Korea.
Yeah, I think as the weeks go on, they're starting to just become a little bit unraveled, you know? Like the weights have come off. They're showing their true strength. I love that Cruz wasn't backing down when he was playing up against the ropes, but now a bit of a push towards Dish. They know that Gen G does not have the weaponry.
Yeah, TS tries for the pick there, can't get in. Now we're going to have all of the A-site smoke, so it's going to be up to Gen G to try to figure out some kind of a retake. And what looks to be a pretty impossible round 8 here, as Talon probably has this.
Oh. And Fox is lurking. If he hears the door and he pushes at the right time, he might be able to catch him. Everyone's holed up by Dish right now, or drop, excuse me. So it's
That
kind
was
of up
sick.
to Gen G,
That
but
was
team plays.
That was so good. All right. It's going to be up to the remainder of the Gen G players to try to get something done. We do have Meteor there on site, but getting wallbanged pretty badly. It looks like the shorty's going to be how he ends here now. 4-4, flawless victory there for Talon. Things continue to heat up.
Yeah, say hello to my little friend. That's kind of, I mean, Gen G just doesn't have the guns in that round. So, of course, the timeout now being called, see where it all kind of went wrong was somewhere between round 4. After Talon starts to find more of these spike plants, more of these attacking rounds, Gen G are struggling to really get a good read because they're never quite sure when Talon is pushing or pulling. At times, maybe they find a bit of a lurk, but then that causes their defenses to weaken because they have to spend resources. They have to spend units to kind of push out on other parts of the map.
Yeah, that's right. The first timeout has actually been called, and this time it's by Gen G. I do want to point out, I thought a timeout was going to come a little bit sooner from one of these teams, but they've economized this nicely, I think. And we got to figure out, for their sake, what can they do exactly to adapt here? Because right now this is frighteningly close. We don't have that much more left here. We're about 2/3 of the way done here with the first half. They would like to scoop up a couple leads and at least close out that first half with a healthy lead, but Talon is fighting back very well. Yeah. Talon, by the way, looking really good in a lot of these rounds where they are really in a bad position.
Yes.
With poor weaponry or, taking the pistol round at the very start against a team as good as Gen G. Interesting to see.
I mean, you really have to consider the fact that Gen G, a map like Fracture is something that they're not the greatest on. They have a pretty good record on it. I mean, 3 wins and 1 loss so far. Struggled a little bit against DFM. And in most of these maps, Meteor wasn't doing so well. But today, he's actually on top. Today, King is the one on top. And I think that's because Talon's starting to recognize the fact that this is how Gen G plays. We know where these players are going to be positioned.
Screen down.
Now, ooh.
Okay, immediately
Perfect
Garnett.
setup.
Big play there, taking out 3. Coming into A. This is a nightmare here for TS, and Goddead, as the other half of the team wasn't able to control that position. And now you have to imagine this is going to be an easy closer here in round 9, bringing Talon up to 5-4.
I mean, that was just a perfect set play. You have the fault line, the paint shells to push them out of position. Anywhere that Gen G moved, they would be stunned. And it just sets up for Garnett to find the perfect headshots. So the rest of them are going to save now from Gen G. TS managing to find 1 pick, but they have to back off. Oh my God, is Talon really hunting?
Yeah, they're out here for the kill.
Oh!
And they get 1. Oh my God, it's just going to be TS
gonna be
left
Ace?
over. They know right where he is. Pat very low.
Garnett's is online for the ace. Oh, he's just trying to survive as hard as he can, using the dark cover to block it off as well. But here comes. Oh!
All right, TS gets 2. Got to be careful with that advantage that you have. He is going to be able to take that Vandal into the next round, and honestly, bleeding off those 2 players at the end there, what looked like it was going to be a very one-sided win became a much closer one. But man, Talon is fighting back very nicely.
Not too shabby. I mean, let's look at this play again. Fault line, the push from Gen G doesn't really work out. Garnett's just looking in peak form today.
Yeah, I mean, very good instinct there to do that push out. A little bit of an unfortunate ending there, but they are now in the lead here without much more left. It's going to be another round here that Gen G needs to try to stabilize and not let them get this site in here. We've got the Viper's Pit coming down to make this just an undesirable position to push into.
Still, I wouldn't put it past Talon just to be discouraged from pushing past this Viper's Pit. It's only 1 player that's here. Of course, Talon doesn't know that, but they have the utility to work with it. And here comes the showstopper.
And that's going to be it. They open this wide up. And that means they can start to come in. Only Meteor is going to be ready to try to deal with him. He's going to send the Boombot out, try to intercept some targets. But even then, Talon could abandon this and rotate back.
That just might be what they'll do. Instead, they're going to push past doors. Maybe a bit of a split push. 2 players on the site. And we've got a lot of utility to work with, Tasteless.
Yeah, but they've certainly got a lot. Gen G could still make this work. They've got to be very, very careful. It's going to be one of the harder rounds, but it starts to happen. Oh, my God. Pat does take him out. And in what has been a back and forth now, showstopper ready. Meteor at 5 HP. Going to come down. He fires a shot, doesn't connect. Bruce picks off Goddead, and it's going to be another Talon win.
Unbelievable. It's now 6-4.
Could be 7-4 soon here. I mean, this is looking very bad. Now, this is a round, buy-wise, I think it's going to be better for Gen G. But Talon has had a real ability to navigate this map, really able to thread that needle, able to get in there, get the plant, fake a site push, and a lot of times just to win the straight-up gunplay, duel out that they have over some of these entry points.
That's right. I mean, Talon are kind of just reading the fact that Gen G are trying to find that initiative, but at times, because of how delayed Talon are being, how controlled they're being, Gen G are being thrown off guard. We're back to kind of the usual positions that Gen G are playing with King up by B site. Bit of a toxic screen just to block off bench. But this just funnels Talon towards the A site, and they could very well go through drop, but zero information out by A main kind of blocks that.
Very quiet start here in round 11. And TS is waiting down here. He's going to smoke out Heaven.
Okay. That still kind of gives it away.
There.
This could be a set play for Talon.
Yeah, I was going to say, this kind of gives them actually maybe even easier entry, right? Considering
Flash
how
out.
outnumbered they are.
Flash back in. Paint shells could push TS back. Ooh! He still finds a one.
Meteor's still there just around the corner. Garnett's ready. Spike is now planted here. And he's going to try to push him all the way out here. So he's going to have the Rolling Thunder come out. Oh, deep lurk there from Box.
And now it's just using the Trailblazer. Further information. They know they're by A main. Spike is down. It's a 3-on-2.
Yeah, this is going to be rough. Garnett's is ready, but he can't get a single one. Goddead picks him off. Spike is sticking faster and faster. There's the Molly set up to buy time, but the reactions there from Goddead are so good. And that's going to be enough. They'll actually be able to get that defuse, right?
I don't think so. Wait, nah, he does have enough time.
Yeah, he's got enough here.
I thought that was the FX.
But talk about a nail biter there. A little bit under 2 seconds left, and he gets it at the last second. Clutch play from Gen G, probably the best round they've had so far in the half.
I have to agree. This was won out by pure mechanical skill thanks to Goddead and his nose tissue.
That's right. And his plugged up nostrils, there it is.
Oh, look at that face. I mean, if you think about it.
Kids all over the world now putting toilet paper in their nose, wondering why they're not getting better at Valorant.
It's not deep enough. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. Disclaimer. I think Talon actually had the right strategy. Fox big on the lurk. He's been doing that for a long time now, flanking every round. And he's able to catch a couple of players from Gen G, even finding information. But if you recall, there was a Rolling Thunder that kind of didn't really hit anything. It just cleared out A main because that's where they thought Gen G were. Both teams are playing around with the positions and switching it up so much that it kind of gets a little bit confusing for both sides. And Gen G just waiting and kind of playing off pure mechanics in order to win on these duels. Talon getting a little bit overheated in those final moments, going to aim duel and push Gen G back. A little bit unfortunate.
Now we get to see, is this going to be tied up 6-6, or is Talon going to truck ahead here with 7-5? Either way, you literally can't be closer than that. This has been such a fun start here for Talon against Gen G, and excited to see that Talon is still in the lead here. One of the teams that, after week about 2 and 3, we were kind of saying, oh, maybe they are the weakest team that we've got. They're fighting back very well against, a team that, as well in those first couple of weeks, looked unstoppable.
That's right. Not so great before, whatever it is, maybe the pressure's off now. They're starting to do a little bit better, but conversely, you have to think about what this means for Gen G. This team who's supposed to be the second. So far, haven't been looking too great since the recent weeks, but now Talon's starting to prod in this final round of the first half. Gen G just sticking to their careful, tactical positions.
They've used this formation before, sending the Skybird down A long to try to sell that while they creep into B. But it doesn't look like this time the Sky's going to be pushable. Garnett's now takes Goddead out, allowing for the plant to happen over here onto B. We've got a 3-stack rapidly coming through the middle to try to come help and recover this. King right now, the only one on site, unable to find any kind of angle to get a shot, allowing Talon to set up a pretty comfortable position.
Oh my gosh. And also reading the fact that Eco had his Rolling Thunder, they completely evacuated the site. They are in position to shoot them down.
What was that?
rope acrobatics.
Yeah.
Blinded.
All right,
Volley,
Fox comes up. Can't get anything. Cruz still hanging back. No defuse just yet. Not much time left. Is this going to be it?
Oh,
Gonna try
pass
to
from
stick
behind.
it. No way. Cruz with that final kill. It's 7-5. Talon in the lead. We go into the second
Player
half.
standing.
Talon
Switching
on the
sides.
defense now, and Gen G ready to plant the spike.
Right. Maybe not really anything that anyone expected. A 7-5 first half on Gen G's map pick. But if you look at these rounds, again, it's just Talon reading how Gen G are playing, recognizing that, all right, they're not really pushing or doing anything this round. Maybe they're just waiting on sight. So what we'll do is to surprise them. A little bit of a sudden peak from Garnett's, and all of a sudden Goddead's gone. And if you remember, Goddead off of that 4K round, he's the top fragger for Gen G right now, maybe next to Meteor. And if those guys are gone, if those guys are disabled, Talon basically gets a free sight. And then recognizing that the Rolling Thunder was available from Eco, they back off, they put themselves in a position where they can catch Gen G as they approach Talon on the retake, completely backstabbing.
Let's remember that Talon did win that pistol round, right?
Yeah,
Oh, no. Yeah, they did, right?
They did, they
yeah. I mean, Gen G had
Gen G
an
won the
interesting
thrifty
recovery.
after,
That's
yes.
right. But, you know, let's say Talon could win there and then actually, however they want to play round 2, close that out. They should be in a pretty healthy position, especially when you consider that we've already seen one half and they came out 7-5. They only need a couple more round wins to kind of pull ahead and get that number 13.
That's right. I mean, I think this is where things get a little bit more interesting because Gen G, again, they do have that double controller setup. And what I'm looking out for is Meteor because he has to be the one to step up. Raze hasn't been too great before, but today it's looking good. If Goddead can support him, and if these double controllers can really sell fakes, pull out defaults that we've never seen before, just to confuse Talon. If they can break Jitboy's traps and find the best entries, Talon might not know how to react.
Been a great first half. Very excited to see. We're almost ready now to hop into that second half to get this going. It is packed down here, by the way, at our studio. If you're watching from home, remember that you can come down here and watch these matches live in person.
That's right.
And I gotta say, it's one of the best stages in esports I've seen. It really looks incredible.
Music and everything. Our playoff tickets are on sale, Tasteless.
That's right. Don't miss out.
Well, for $19.99, I'm kidding. Okay.
All right, we're ready now to go into the second half here. Remember, Gen G currently top 2, top 3 teams that we've got here in the region going against a team right at the bottom. Talon so far is in a lead. Could cause a massive upset as we go further on into the evening.
Oh my god. He's already spending his blast packs into the A site, into A main, not even A site.
Yeah, fighting to kind of not really make a whole lot of progress here. Talon with a pretty good control over here onto Satellite, gets 2.
And now they stream out of A main, losing 1 player in the process. The aftershock, no!
Gets it
Last
barely.
player standing.
Oh man, he gets dropped in the process. Meteor ready. Actually doesn't matter. That's gonna be it. It's gonna be the 8th round win here for Talon. Things are looking more and more dire here for Gen G.
We got the 2 pistol rounds for Talon. At least Gen G got the spike down, but man, oh man, that kind of went all sorts of wrong for Gen G. Really unfortunate. They were setting up for a set play to take control over Dish, but Talon were just positioned to completely avoid that paranoia from TS.
Yeah, the shutdown on Dish was pretty big. It made it so that even when they got in over to the A site, it didn't mean they were going to be able to control it.
That's right, and I mean, that's kind of where you want to see and pay attention to these defensive positions from Talon, because at times they will push out. I'm expecting Fox to find flanks as he's done so before, and right now, they're just holding these off-angle positions, expecting Gen G to go in. Maybe a bit of a linear duel towards bench.
Yep. Right, Pat already starts it.
There we go.
Goddead going to be the next to peak.
And
Oh
a
my
second
God.
one.
Fish in a barrel, man. Oh. Only 3 left now here for Gen G. Obviously a round that's
Spike is down.
so hard to play, right? But seems like it's only going to get worse. Pat then takes out King.
Okay.
They've opened up the B site, but like,
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's gonna do that
It
much.
doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't really
Talon,
help them.
They get to set this forward operating base up by bridge spawn, where the spike is.
They just have to cover the spike.
Meteor peeks into it.
Yeah, and
Here
this
comes
is not,
Pat.
without any real utility, this is hard for them to push down and try to reclaim that. So it's just Meteor here on the run, 26 HP, likely to be 9 to 5 soon here. That's it.
I count 4.
Yeah.
4 kills. For Pat.
That was brutal. Okay, so I think that Gen G, they have to win this next round, or I think they are going to start to lose control of the second half.
That's absolutely right, Tasteless. Because the momentum's not on their side right now, and they desperately need it, especially in this series, especially on their map pick. And they just look all out of sorts. I'm really confused because you expect Gen G to do better, but their protocols just kind of seem a little bit off. First of all, spike down and spawn. Nobody's really carrying it.
Yeah,
trying to aggress. They do it a little bit blind.
And looks like we're going to have a heavy stack come up to B. There's not a lot covering this, at least for now. TS is going to start to swing around. We'll see if they go for the orb right away. So he's going to come right up. Jipboys is going to be here on the receiving
With
end.
a Spectre, too.
Oh, my
I
God.
think they saw him.
Yep, that's going to be it. They do come through. Cruz does an okay job, but now they're down 2.
Uh-oh.
And here we go. Garnets is here, and he does find the target. The spike is not planted. It's still in the tube for the time being.
They're sandwiched. Flashed in, but they hold their ground.
Okay, that was a crazy round. It's going to be 6 to 9 there, but the push into tube was wild.
I like that song. Yeah, I mean, smart play by Gen G there. They knew that they had to have the discipline to just hold down up by 2. Talent's going to push into us. These guys are hungry for kills. So all we really need to do is to make sure that they don't get them. Hold these angles. Even with the Rolling Thunder, we don't have to make much of a move. So it's okay for Gen G as long as they find these frags, and thankfully they got them.
Yeah, very important moment there. Finally starting to fight back, actually take a win there.
Bit of an expensive Rolling Thunder from Pat.
Yeah, for sure. I think it wasn't a bad idea necessarily, but it did not actually pan out. We have the spike just deposited over here in the spawn. Looks like they're going to try to find a peek on either side. Seems like if they're going to find anything, it would be over here onto the B side, but I think Talon's being pretty smart and not overextending.
Don't have to. We don't have to show ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
If anything, actually, could you imagine a scenario whereby Talon takes the rope to the spawn and they see the spike on the ground? Talon's not going to do that without much information either, so...
They need to send one back over here to A. It looks like Cruz is going to do that now. Gen G, again, with a slow play here, it looks like this is going to be a push into A, but they've given enough time here for Talon to set up at least some way to kind of delay the capturing of the site.
That's right. We know they're on the other opposite side of the map. They're going to have to push through, so we smoke it off. We hold the angles.
Cruz is so crazy.
Almost a third.
Dropping 2. Garnets is here to take his position.
30 seconds left.
And here come the Seekers as well.
Garnet's going to stay back for the time being. The Seekers are shot down. They need to get the spike. I don't know that they can do this in time. They've got to go all the way out. He does get the blind off. Fox is going to pull away, but it's beautifully done.
Okay.
And that's going to be it. The 10th win here for Talon. Very impressive game. The fact that they were able to maroon that spike out there made the seizure of the A site basically a disadvantage. They had to then try to come in there and reclaim it. Really good synergy here from Talon.
Couldn't agree more.
This is the Talon we had seen prior to the VCT Pacific that we were kind of expecting to play so well. And then they had a lackluster showing, but who cares about what they did before? Right now, they're playing amazingly.
I have to agree. If you look at Fox, he might be not the top fragger right now, but he's getting so much information for the team. All of these birds, the guiding light actually gets so much information out by bridge, so he calls it clear. He knows they're kind of pushing up by A main or maybe tree, and Talon just reacting time.
There.
Age out. Gen G trying to find anything, just a weapon in this round if
Hold on,
possible.
Garnets is coming here.
What?
What? Wait, and he doesn't even...
Down B.
That wasn't even him that killed him, by the way. That was almost a misleading
didn't
shot.
even
That
need
was
it.
hilarious.
We're using the ultimate, but well, now we got the spike again.
I was like, is this just one of the observers in the game, but he has a gun in his picture? What is happening? Huge moment here. Gen G up against the ropes right now.
Oh no. I don't like this, Nick.
Scout destroyed.
Okay, they're going to try to come in now.
Oh, Pat.
One enemy.
Pushes out. It's going to be a trade. God did here with just the Marshal. Oh my God, he actually wings him. Not just the bird, actually the player.
All right.
Oh. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Cruz, who's been absolutely delivering so far here on map 1. Great performance.
That is precisely why Fox was backing away. You see clear protocols from Talon, and they know exactly how to play off of each other. The synergy has been improved upon so much for this team. They looked terrible the first few weeks, but now so much better. Even forcing the timeout again from Gen G as they face almost match point. And it's just not great for Gen G. Again, the spike loss, and this is a mistake that we've seen before. It's a little bit unfortunate. That might be one of the streamers from Thailand.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah, it's good to have everybody coming down here to the studio from all over the world.
And this is Darnie, the beatboxer from Singapore, and his wife.
Excellent. Welcome to all you guys. Thanks for coming out. And you at home can come out.
Yeah.
Maybe you just got to leave your house. Maybe you got to get a passport and get in an airplane. Either way, no excuses. Get down to our studio. You're going to love watching some Valorant in person.
Oh my God.
The audience has been
Talent
hyped.
fans.
We, by the way, haven't had that many timeouts.
No. I mean, they did spend 2 so far in the first half. Gen G just recently called 1. Talent doesn't need to, not yet.
Yeah, there's no point so far. If it's not broken, don't fix it.
And again, it's just how they play off of Fox's information. Just not really overextending too much, like you mentioned before, Tasteless. Gen G, I don't know what's wrong with them, but they really need to fix it. Next map's going to be Talent's map pick as well, so now just playing a little bit slow and careful. Off the timeout, maybe Bile gave them some kind of a strategy to execute, but again, same protocol. Talent's going to get information up by bridge. They know they're not there, so through process of deduction, we know where Gen G are.
Yeah. They've combed that part of the map. Now they're ready to receive over here. King does get the first pick onto Pat, and Cruz is gone. 2 players you'd love to get rid of early on if you're Gen G. The spike is not. Oh, never mind. TS shoots Garnets right off the zip line. This is already looking like a Gen G win. Let's see what more damage Fox and Jit Boys can do.
Getting a little bit of
Last
information. Wow.
player standing.
It's impressive, regardless. Jit Boys.
Gonna try to sneak through tunnel. It's a little, yeah.
Spike planted.
Jit Boys gonna come out. Meteor is just below, or I should say behind the box, below the tunnel.
I mean, at this point, I think Jit Boys knows that he doesn't have much of a chance at this retake. So just trying to find whatever frag he can. Peek onto the other side, finds God dead, but behind him as well.
Yeah, that's going to be a very, very impossible position here for Jit Boys. Gen G takes a round win at last.
Yes.
But they are hurting. Finish line is in sight here for Talon. Question is, how do they get those 2 additional wins? They're going to have a pretty big cushion to rest on here, you know.
Big old cushion of 4 rounds.
They can drop a couple there and then squeak out a win or 2 there at the very end. But I think if there was a team that could clutch this,
Yes.
Gen G would certainly be one of them.
Have to agree with that. Talon might have the momentum, but Gen G has 4 ultimates this round. Talon without the firepower. Gen G are going to explore, take control of the other side of the map, and to slowly push up. TS getting the heads-up duel. Weakens the defenses on the B site, but guess where the spike is going, Nick?
Looks like it's going to A, unless they turn around here. Hold on, they might not. No, I think they're going to go for it.
Oh, Talon. Jit Boys has the camera up here as well. Oh, you seen it?
He saw that haircut.
Snapshot.
He knows that's Viper.
Caught in 4K. Giving it all bombastic side eye.
So now we got to see is Gen G actually going to commit onto A or not. They're certainly ready to be intercepted if they try to drop down. That's been smoked out.
Oh, wow.
And so Gen G really erring on the side of caution. I mean, I can't say that I
Very,
blame
very
them. They're
much.
going to go seesaw back over here. But there's a push coming right now from Cruz. Well, there was. He was just killed off.
It is a Southeast Asian team, Talon. So Gen G, knowing that they would probably peak at some point, waited, got a couple of picks. Now they know that B is completely clear. We're paranoid just to make sure. We'll be able to get the spike down, and Talon, no chance of retaking this. Or really slim chances.
Yeah, it's probably not happening. But I think the reality is this is
Spike
also in
planted.
some ways a little bit of a throwaway round, right? I
Yeah.
mean, it's not one that is going to be hinged on them taking this map at this point in time. And certainly a round that we needed to see Gen G win. They're going to win in a commanding performance, not dropping a single player, not losing a single gun. Unless Chip Boys gets a kill here.
You never know. But banking on Gen G to make it flawless. This would be a big morale boost. 5 ultimates. Oh
standing.
god, that almost came close.
Yep, just Fox now. He's stunned. This is going to end quietly here. Round 19 is going to go to Gen G. It's going to be 8-11. The game of catch-up continues on here for Gen G.
Game that they really need to keep playing.
And they should be able to pull together another win here with the number of ultimates they have. They've
That's
got a
what I'm
lot to
looking
work
for.
with, man. Yeah.
We have the ultimates. We need to make a big execute. Switch up the pace a little because Gen G has been really careful in the past few rounds. And Talon, sometimes they play into that. Sometimes they peek into Gen G. Other times they might just be a little bit safe. So I think it's up to Talon to actually make a read here. And that's something that they could be setting up for. Look at how many players are on the B site.
Take them.
Now, I think when they use those ultis, they need to be sure not to end up double or tripling them up unless it's going to be a guaranteed win. You can also overspend and then, deny yourself opportunities in later rounds here. You really have to play the perfect combination of rounds to exit here. I mean, even one more win from Talon, it's going to be all about overtime then.
Very much so.
Garnets is ready with the operator here.
Just a Rolling Thunder and a Showstopper could do the trick. But Garnets,
Garnets with a wide peak.
in good form.
Now he drops TS. TS's ultimate not important in a moment like this. Doesn't get the next kill. The Showstopper is used to execute him.
Gives Gen G the sight. Toxic Screen just holding up long enough for the spike to go down. Easy. 2 ultimates used now. But Pat finding a frag.
All right, so we've got the Viper's Pit basically clogging up entry over here. It's going to be parsed through here by Talon, who still is in high numbers. We've got a lot of injured Gen G players. Meteor gets the kill.
Uh-oh.
Enemy remaining.
Hold up. Oh my god, it's just one. Cruz and Pet, they're going to go for the defuse.
He's stunned.
I don't think he can get over there in time to deny this. He's going to stick it. And that's going to be the 12th round win. Huge play there by Talon, navigating that Viper's Pit so nicely.
Match point.
Just, again, I am stunned tasteless. Gen G had everything going right. On paper, in the books. You had the Viper's Pit. Players were positioned around there. Meteor actually got a frag off, but everyone else just kind of dropped apart. They completely backed away from it, allowing for the Viper's Pit to drop. Talon just pushed in at the right time, and having the Rolling Thunder really gave them a big boost in that retake.
Gen G, one loss away from suffering humiliation. Unless they can win every round out and force this to overtime, they get a start. Meteor takes Cruz out. There's a long mountain to climb before they can pull this back.
Oh my god.
Garnets is still lurking here with the operator. And a kind of a funny angle to even be at. You certainly wouldn't expect this. They flash, so he's going to peek.
Oh god.
Big play. Pops over to the other side, 9 HP. That was so impressive.
Blast pack just to stay alive.
Yeah.
King holding up by the other side.
Crazy escape. They are going to go ahead and try to scout. They're going to confirm the Jip Boys is up in tube. And they're going to go for it. They're going to YOLO it into B.
Oh,
I assume Rolling Thunder is going to be inbound here.
good response from Pat as well. Garnets is just waiting for the right time. He has the retake in play. Oh, and then the trip. perfect peeks coming out of
God,
Talon now.
it's getting worse.
One enemy remaining.
That's it. It's just going to be TS remaining here.
30
Garnett's with
seconds left.
6 HP.
Cover going.
Oh no.
And that is it.